Hello guys.
Hello. Wow, quite some time, right? We are so happy to see you guys again. Each month, we're trying to do 2 times a month, and this month is gonna be just one. All right. So, how are you guys doing? This is the live from Pinklotus-Foundation. We are together with you by me, Christy, and Giknatridi. As usual, we moving location a little bit, so the light might not be in the bright angle as showing our beauty as usual.
Even this light are beautiful.
Yes, we are. The beauty is inside,
Right.
isn't it? How are you guys doing? How are you coping with the changing that is happening with us lately? I mean, inside Bangkok, we have a little bit of challenging. So, with it, I'm just trying to sit stable. Today, we are gonna talk about how to overcome suffering, as according to our agenda, and this is could be the good time to mention it a little bit. All right, so we still have a few minutes together. Hope you guys can make it and coming to see us. Let's see. So it's not officially yet, but it's a verbal officially from the Pinklotus-Foundation headquarters. We have we happen to about to sign the agreement with the other 2 foundation called. Hello, who is it that here with us? Hi, Shiyani. welcome. We're just updating that as Pinklotus-Foundation, we have a two new foundation that we are in partnership with. The first one is Sahathai Foundation, that we are in a verbal contract that what we're going to do together as serving the caseworker that empowering women, empowering children in Sahathai. They have the headquarters all around Thailand in different provinces in the south and in the in Bangkok as well. That's one foundation. The other foundation that we are in touch and talking to is with Father Ray's Foundation in Pattaya. That's we have a verbal with Father over there to do some activity together with the kids, which is we are very happy. สวัสดีค่ะคุณกุ้ง Thank you for watching นะคะ Right, so we just updating, and this month is our birth month
Both of us?
of both of us.
And another one is Plenky.
น้องเพลง in พัทยานะคะ so and also my own father, and we do a lot of activity. We just went to what foundation?
Children Foundation
In นครปฐม
Yes, พุทธมณฑลสาย 4.
And then we went to do some logistic grocery for the kid. We met one kid and take a picture on our foundation. We wish that the situation get better, so we able to get into different foundation and doing this, and we're looking forward to have more volunteer in the future.
Yes.
And yes, Kun Kung and Shiyani, if you want to come, you're always welcome, and just contact us, right? Okay, so that is a little bit of updating. And what else? Should we continue or not?
Yes.
We should continue, and then I guess other people will come in, right? So say hi, leave the comment, asking
Any
question.
questions?
Yeah, all right. So today is a little bit as usual, because I love to do the passion of how the mind thinking, how we processing the meaning of life. Hello, and again I welcome whoever you are. Say hi as well. So today the topic is how to overcome suffering. So Do you think that in life, how many times or how often that we have to go through the word suffering, and why is it that we need to go through that, and what is it that it need to be that way, and how could we prevent it, and how could we make the understanding around this, right? So today we're gonna learn about this together. So the first of all, I just wanna talk about the meaning of suffering first. Okay, what is suffering? The suffering itself, it is the state of our mind that is undergoing through the pain, distress, or hardship, or in the form of physical, mental, emotion. Okay, so I'll say it again. Suffering is the state of mind that going through the pain, the distress, the hardship that is happening in life, or in the form of physical, mental, and emotion. That's what is happening with the word suffering. Okay, so now we just go through a little bit, yeah? Those suffering or undergo through the distress, for example, that some people get pain to the body of aching or coughing or get a flu or headache. That is the suffering through the body or physical body, right? And another form of suffering, it could be the suffering of the mental, the thinking loop that over and over and over again in the mental, that you cannot get out of that. For example, some kid that might go to school and then cannot get along or be in the position with the friend that is harmonized in the school. So that is create the distress and painful into the mental thinking, right? So that is the suffering from the thinking process, which is the mental. So now those kind of things, like when you suffering through the body to the mental, it's also related to the emotion. You feel sad that the body get aching. You feel sad that you as a kid not being accepted in the school, or you working in the new place, and then you're not really connected to the people at workplace yet. So that is how suffering is. So in summarize, suffering is the state of mind that undergoing through the pain, to the distress, to the hardship, which is all that related to the physical, to the mental, and to the emotion. And this state of mind can also be shift and change anytime if we choose to, right? But the point is, we don't know that we have that right to choose to overcome suffering, which is today we're gonna dig down with this together, right? So what is it that is causing the mind, the body, and the emotion to feel suffering, right? So Tony Robbins says one time that suffering is come from the feeling of feeling less, lost, never. Right, I say it again. Tony Robbins, which is the master in coaching business for very long time, I mean over 40 years or maybe 50 years already. He talked about that when people suffer, it's come from the part that the mental, the thinking mind is unable to cope with the state of life that changing, to feel loss of something, less of something, and never of something or someone. Okay, so that is like the definition of Tony Robbins with that. So let's see that how is it that loss, less, never have a deal with it. Welcome guys, welcome, thank you for joining us live today. We are talking to about overcome suffering, and the root cause of suffering is the meaning that we put into our mind. And Tony Robbins saying that the mind make an interpretation through this loss, less, never. What is it that loss? Like loss of opportunities, right? So this is the mind is going to the future. For example, I just lost my father over 8 months or 9 months ago, and that is seemed to a big piece of me being taken out of my heart, like someone ripping my heart open. And I experienced the loss of the physical of my own father. I felt deeply sad because I felt that I will lose all the opportunity to in touch with him in the future, to take him to the to shopping together, to take him to his favorite noodles, to take him to any places, or to be able to sit down with him by his chess. He liked to play Thai chess a lot, and I lost that opportunities to be with him in the future. That's why the mind is experiencing lost the opportunity so harshly that it took me in the spiral downward for very long period of time until I make a new meaning. But that is not just lost somebody that important to you. You in your life you lost so many things, okay? So many people, like some people lost the ideal job that they used to have, especially this time of COVID, like lost the job that they have a certain of certainty for very long time, and when that has happened, the mind experience some change that the future I'm not going to be able to work in the job that I used to work. So the mind experience the thing in the future and create the meaning that it's gonna be lost forever. So that's why suffering is coming through. Okay, that was the meaning of loss. So let's see less. What is it that the mind interpreted in the less, in the suffering? Become lesser. Let's say. Also in the relationship, some people have in the relationship of romantic relationship or friendship, and then they felt lesser of themselves just because of someone gone out of our life. It's lost that relationship, plus feel less than because of feeling that attach our worthy with somebody. So feeling lesser in terms of the worth in ourselves, which is that is all the mind composed, true or not, it's you who make a decision. Can you share with me, guys, that do you think that when somebody leave the relationship, is that affect our worthiness or not? What do you think?
Well, in my opinion, if my old self are listening to this, I would say yes. Because for me, I wasn't ready to let it go, and I wasn't the one who made the decision that I would like to let this go.
Okay.
So
readiness,
it
right?
hit me a lot.
Yeah. Readiness. That's exactly the word, readiness. Those suffering is coming from what we're not ready. Like when I lost my father physically, I have him in my heart, in myself, in my body forever. But at that moment when the news hit me that he has to leave the physical, it just shocked. I'm not ready. I remember my mother is not ready and collapsed on the floor, and I was like, oh my God, I want to collapse it, but I have to take care of mom as well, and I have to be strong. So that is not right. So the readiness, that is the key, guys. So now we're talking about loss of the opportunity in the future, and the last one is less we attach that meaning that worthy of ourselves. Like I feel that, God, I'm gonna have less interaction with my father. I'm gonna have less love or less joy by having him, which is all mind invented, right? That is the meaning that we attach it, true or not. That was it happened at that moment, right? So this suffering is come from this attached meaning that we creating it. Okay, so let's see the next one. Like we talk about the loss of the opportunity to see and experience in the future, the less of our self-value and attach and worthiness to that thing that we feel losing, right? And the less of the joy, the feeling, the love, like when the relationship broken and gone, people normally feel that the love is less, which is that inventive meaning. Is not true, because the real love is inside job. It's from us. No one ever take it out. But that's what it's so sudden into our mind, right? Okay. So next one is never, right? Lost, less, never. What is it in never in the state of mind? Never is like never able to get over it. If we focus on that, like for example, some people focus on, I never ever gonna get over of losing my own father, which is not true. That is, how long would you like to remain that? Ask me about now. Am I still sad? I'm still sad. I'm still feeling like okay, he should never leave. But it's not true, right? But never ever get over it. Oh my God, I have to shift my mind to see that there is so much of joy having him. Just have to focus in a different way. And so many one of us couldn't. And this is when we in the suffering state, we need to find the meaning, the new meaning. But if we can't, we need to find help and support, which is all over that we can reach to, right? Okay. So again, never able to get over it, or never gonna feel love again because of somebody that dumped us in the past, which is, that's how we attach that meaning. If I ask those people that feel broken heart, and then ask that again, that do you really feel that that person is worth your while? If they really have a good conversation, they could find a new meaning. But because of they stuck in the zone, in the state of suffering, they couldn't think anything else except that meaning that they attached to. Okay. Anyone want to share something? Okay.
I have one.
Yeah, please.
I have a friend who's suffering from her own company. They have a team, and someone who she really respect. That person is not someone that she thought that person could be, and that hurt her so much. She told me that she felt betrayed, and she decided to leave the company. And I asked her that if you could think that this is the learning for you, what could it be? And she couldn't think clearly, because she said that I just need to go away so I can think. And right now I think she's better, but at the beginning that she felt that betrayed, she said that she cried a lot, and it's like the rain coming through, like it hurt a lot and make she couldn't sleep, and that made my friend went to hospital because of that. Because she's stressed and affect her body a lot.
All right. Okay. You see that suffering, it's coming from the attached of the meaning that we put it there so strongly. That is a betrayal. I couldn't think, I have to get over of it, but I couldn't, right? So that is how the spiral emotion is going down and down and down, right? So that is like, she probably felt that is never ever gonna know that person again, because the person that she has in her mind is not the same person as a reality.
Yes,
which is all we call expectation. Expectation. We often expect people to be somebody that we never communicate to them, and then once when it was in the way that we expecting it, the whole world crashed, and then we couldn't go back to that way, which is, this is how we need to make a new meaning, because the mind is the master of all. Whatever mind can perceive, it can be conceived, right? If we focus on, remember guys, when we try to accomplish something, like when we in the primary school or university and we graduated, because our mind is focused on that, right? We never focus on 1F that we have on high school, because if we keep focusing that, it's not gonna happen, right? In that sense. So if you have anything along this and want to share or want me to talk it out through, I'm willing to talk through. We are learning and sharing this together. I'm also learning from my own experience and my own teacher. Like I went to the training of Tony Robbins in every classes with Luke, with my husband. So we like to spread the knowledge. We are messenger of the knowledge that we learn. So I'm so honored to be here, and so honored to sharing those technique and those way of thinking to you guys. All right, yeah. So it's the matter of perspective, right? All those suffering is from the meaning that we attach into that event, that person, that loss, that less, that never. To attach to our meaning in life, our worthiness, our feeling. So if we know all of this, we can shift the whole perspective, right? So how can I overcome my own suffering of my father, that I felt that I lose my father physically, right? I only shift the perspective that what is it, what have been the time that we had a great time together. Mostly people expect more than accept and understanding. Exactly, Kun Kung, yeah. Because we expect and inventing the meaning in our head without communicating or trying to understand. We have a relationship, no? We didn't tell them what to do. It's a relationship, so we need to talk, right? Like in my case, I always perceive or didn't feel the love with my father, with that sense, for very long time. And then after I lost my father, I felt that, oh my gosh, he actually loved me so much, proud of me in every successful that I got. Or even, I remember when I was a kid, I painted the Flintstone, a Flintstone on the plant pot, right? And then put his head as a Flintstone, put my father's head as a Flintstone, and then he loved it so much that, oh, you are very good in artistic and things like that, which is, I never believed that I'm very good in artistic, but actually I am, and he's the one found it. So instead of suffering of feeling the loss of the opportunity to be with my father in the future, I'm just focusing in what actually we have connected together. We have value and cherish that moment. And then I brought one after another of the memory that we share together. Another one will be that I love it so much when I was 8 years old, around that time, a couple of years. We live in the community that they are a factory of taking a part of a coconut. So we went into the back of the factory together as daughter and father, and then we collect the inside of coconut. It's called jao in Thai, yeah, and in English I don't know, but it's a seed, very white one, and he was the one that teaching me how to eat that seed. That is if it's too yellow, it's tough. You need to eat a little bit of softness and things like that. And then we collected. I remember I hold a bucket back home daily, and like that. You see, this is how we shift the perspective. And then another one, just for fun. I remember we moved the house, and then our home is very near into the jungle. And each time that the rain is raining, the only thing, I'm a big daughter in the house, and they need to be daughter, son, and mixed together for him. So he said that you go there and get the bucket of the paint bucket. You see, when it's empty, the bucket of paint, the huge one, and then each time it's raining, it's a lot of toad. Not a frog, yeah, guy. You know toad, right? Toad is like look like a frog, but it's like, but it has the skin is a bubble and look very scary. But he said that you are my daughter. You need to be strong, and you cannot let the toad around on the rainy season because of it's attracting snake.
Right.
You have to go get it.
Collected
in the painting bucket, right? That empty. So I want to cry, but he said that you have to be tough. So he used the thong and collect that toad inside the bucket. But the fun story is not stop there, guys. I have to collect those toad in the bucket again and again and again. It's about, I think it's about 30 of toad jumping in the bucket, right? That is not finished yet. Because a little bit about a kilometer in the back of my house, it's a Krong, which is the small river flow. We have to, Dad said that, okay, it stopped raining now and the toad in the bucket. Now, get in the back of my motorbike and then take that toad, which is the jumping inside of it, and I hold it and I feel like yucky, like as a kid, right? That they're gonna jump into me or not. Go with me into the end of the Krong, the small river. And that is not the end of the story. Once when we're there, he said that be brave, throw it. Throw those 30 toads into the river, right? And then that is like, guys, see, if you pick the memory of the good memory together, you can relive that again, right? And this is for losing someone important physically, losing some job again. You look through what is it that you get it from it, right? How much made you grow to that? It's the matter of perspective. The coin has two sides. If you look to you're losing, the mind will go to the spiral and then go down. That perspective doesn't serve you. But what could serve you? I mean, all of it. Right now, I'm just put the good meaning about that. He loved to help others, and other time he and I helping people to she commit suicide next to the door of our home. And then I saw my father as a hero, and then he lift her up and take the load off, and then she survived. A couple of years later, that woman in the newspaper, she delivered her baby in the taxi. So we know that she still lived it for a very long time from my own father. You see, those things it's just the matter of perspective. Trying to keep your mind healthy and feed the new perspective to make it better, make it real for you. The uplifting emotion and downwarding emotion, there are two there are a layer and two zone. You see, when you go joy, happy, full, it's contagious energy, right? You feel that inside you and then contagious to other people around you, right? The same way with negativity, that you feel that it will go down and down and down and down and sad and sad and sad. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't acknowledge the emotion. The challenging is about you ignore it and suppress it. But the suffering is gonna go through the point that it's overflow. You cannot suppress anymore. That is the part that is a problem. So let's go through another one. You have any question, guys? You have any sharing? Piggy?
Not right now. Maybe when we go through, I will have one.
Okay. So where are they coming from? This suffering, right? Okay. Everything is up to us to put the meaning for, right? We talk about that already. This suffering coming from the matter of perspective, the matter of how we interpret that situation, that losing, that loss, that never. So as we see the perspective, like when we go to Chinatown, have a Chinatown in every country, I believe so. If you walk in Chinatown, pretty much you get lost because you see only the one perspective. But the perspective that if you float up above and seeing that which direction you should go from there, you will know exactly where to go and where to get out.
Yes.
So that is how we should live our life. By from time to time we float above of our own life to see the matter of different perspective and to see that what exactly that we are in right now. And do you want and do we want to get out of that or to want to get the deeper with that? Which one do we want? Which one do we want? Like, do we want to live in this romantic, loving and caring more? How could we get more of it? So that is more into the deep level of care and connection. But if we stuck into the dead end relationship, what's next? What do we want by float above? Are we happy? Is it supporting my career? Is it supporting my life? Is it supporting my kids? Is it supporting the person that I am? Is it worth my while? And that is the question that you need to keep asking yourself. Feed yourself the right question, as Tony Robbins say. If you keep asking yourself, why me? Why me? That is discourage your life. But if you keep asking you the new, different question, why is it? And how is it that I can get out of this? What is the purpose that I have to be in this? For me, with my father, I ask myself, what do I need to know in order to let him in peace and also grow up? And then the answer is just to learn full-heartedly that he loved me as his way. Even I couldn't see it when he's still alive. I saw it, a glimpse of it, because of his quite tough person. But all of that is all of his love. That's what I need to learn. If you still stuck in something, the best question to ask that, what do I need to know to grow out of this situation? That's exactly. And maybe more and more and more. That is a rabbit hole. One gate open, you have to go spiral to another different gate. And that's okay. Right? So everything all about the matter of perspective, of which you shift your perspective faster. Right? Another one is just remember the time when we were young. And some kids took your toys in the class when we were young. Right? Remember that feeling when we were young. How is that?
Sad.
Sad? Only sad?
For me, a bit of anger.
A bit of anger. I was angry. So that was the kid of me, right? The kids of us. But now when we look through our own eyes with this person that grown up and look through the younger self and seeing the another kid took our toy, what do we feel now? Anyone want to answer me?
I feel that you can share.
Yeah. Gig said that she felt that those
That
two
can-
kids can share, right? So that another perspective. You see that how if we able to shift and twist and turn our own perspective, it not necessarily to be in that suffering. I mean, many years ago, I used to end the bad relationship that is happening in my life, and I was stuck there for a very long time. The self-worth is gone, everything, and then go to the part that I felt I want to revenge at that time. But now when I look back into it, and I felt like, God, thank you so much. I have to thank him so much. Thanks his family for whatever they did. Because of if they didn't do what they did, I wouldn't grow. And perhaps I wouldn't come back to be, not perhaps, definitely, I wouldn't come back to be my fully person, my true self, and be able to become my true self and do whatever I love. It's a matter of perspective, and sometimes life gets us to overcome those perspectives that we detach for that kind of meaning for far very long, enable for us to grow and step up into life, right? And those suffering, I bet, is not just one single event. It usually is the accumulating of many events that we ignore it again and again and again until it's burst and bomb. So if we care and live our life happy and care about our mental, our perspective, we will visit our way of giving the meaning, giving the perspective from time to time. And if I would say you should do it daily, if you cannot do daily, weekly, something like that, that will help us become better. Because when we've been taking the toy when we was young, that's huge, that's collapsing the world, right? But when we were grown up and looked through it, we just like, it can be shared. Or let him have it and then you can play it the next hour. Something like that. But at that age, we have only that perspective, and that is so hard for that little girl or little boy to make the new meaning. When you able to make your own new meaning, you will able to help others to make that, because otherwise it doesn't work. All right, so that's one part of it. So just choose wisely how you want to put your perspective and meaning to empowering yourself or to disempowering yourself. Which one that you want to collect into your life. Okay, any question, any share? Today is a little bit quiet, or you like my own voice, guys? Okay, so let's take a look of what are the main emotionals around suffering when suffering comes, right? When we attach with that suffer, what are the emotion? First of all, it's a shock. It's shock, right? I remember it normally is sudden, like you shock because of you lose the job. You shock because of the one that you love say that it's end this relationship. You shock because of your loved one passed, either your parents or your pets or anyone. So that is a shock. And you disbelieve, you resist, it's not true, That's why you're against it, and that's why the suffering come. Until we able to acknowledge and accept, that will be. But after shock and resist, other feeling come. Sad, anger, grief, excruciate grieving, guilt, blame, and go on and so on. But this is all the main one that is happening, right? How is this feeling come? The feeling happen twice. We feel the feeling of the brain. We feel the feeling of the brain by thinking. We shock because we couldn't accept it. That is the feel of the feeling of the brain thinking. And then we feel the feeling of losing, which is no opportunity to make that excruciate grief. We feel the feelings of, why did I do that to him or to her? I shouldn't do that. Or why I'm so stupid staying for long. That is an anger arrive. And what should I do? I should do this and I should do that, but I didn't do. So that guilt coming in. Or I shouldn't deserve this, or I shouldn't deserve that. That is the brain. So it's a spiral cord, you see. And majority of losing the job is blame. It's self-worth doubt on your own self-worth. But if you're losing somebody that you love, the huge one is guilt. What we should do and we didn't do, what we shouldn't do and we did. Those things, it's just like, it's a hell. And then it doesn't comfort you, it's giving you down and down, right? So that is something that you need to be able to process it, right? Okay, so feel the feeling of the brain, which is the thinking. And after feeling of the brain, now the whole body will feel the feeling of the body, because every thought have a different chemical hormone and the fluid, biology, nervous system differently. So each thought that we think that we feel in the brain, it's create that feeling of the body through the cell. So we start aching through the body, we start burning because of the anger, we start aching into the tummy, bloating, and
terrible headache.
Which is, see guys, the key is we feel the feelings twice. Feel the feeling of the thinking, which is the brain, again and again, until those chemical, hormone, nervous, biology, and everything shift and change, repeated again and again and again. So those feelings become the feeling of the body. So it's effect and related together. So you can control the mind. The mind is the master until you allow that happen to be your master, and you become your servant. So take charge as you are the controller of your own mind by choosing the thought wisely. Okay, so that is another part. I thought in the morning that how do I talk a lot of this, which is I have about 6 pages that I'm doing the work before. So how do we cope with suffering? Any idea, any thought, anyone want to share with me? Okay.
For me, I lost my mother when I was 12. And for me, it's time.
It's time. Okay. All
right. I don't know that's the right thing, but for me, it's time.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna do not contradicting. It's just that I have a different perspective of time. Many people say time heals everything. I would say it's bullshit. Because of what? Time will not heal anything if you not put the new perspective. If you're not putting the new understanding or allow yourself to think. It's not just time, isn't it? It's the new way of thinking and flowing. Because time alone, some people, if they are very good in suppressing and run away, they will not dealing with it. Right? Time, allow yourself to ease with it, to be sit and cultivate with it. That is time and your own thinking. Or some people might need somebody to reflect or talking to, or somebody just want to read some good book, or somebody just want to lower their brain wave to be able to think. That is also time plus something. Right? It's never be time.
Only time.
Yeah. So that is the quite right perspective. Because my family and I has a huge discussion about this. Like, let it be. It cannot let it be if you don't deal with it, right? You just have to tackle.
Or let it go.
Let go of it. Let go. Let go of it is allowed in so many areas. Like, how can you let go of your guilt? By you need to accept, acknowledge, and let go, right? Because if you cannot acknowledge it, it's just impossible to do that, right? Okay, thank you for sharing, Okay, so let's get back. Like time, yes, of course. Along with the time, it need to be acknowledged. That is the suffering, right? Like for me, I acknowledge it. When my father passed, it's just I know that I cannot do this alone. I ask my support from. I don't even have to ask. My husband is supporting me so 100%. He grieved with me. He allowed me the time of alone time. I think I cry morning, night for how many months, but it's just to release or to acknowledge and to say sorry or to do something with that. And that was I allow my time and my grieving, my processing of that. And what we did wrong about this is just ignore it. Ignore those feelings and feel that it's okay. Some people ignore it when they are in the breakup relationship. It's okay when it's not okay. It's okay to not be okay. Right? It is like some songs say that, right? I don't know what song, like Pink, I think, and some other people. It's just a good term. And I want you guys to know it's okay to not be okay. And you don't need other to accept it. First one and foremost is you. If you're able to accept that, other people will be able to accept it as well. Okay? And find the supporting tribe. I've been fortunate by having people, the team, the husband, all my team is supporting that, showing the support by showing up to the funeral. At first I thought it wasn't important, but when I saw the family affairs in the funeral, it just feel uplifting. Sometimes you need to allow other people to supporting you, helping you, or be there for you, and not even have to say anything. By being there, you shows a lot, and you're receiving it, right? It's a heart-to-heart thing, because who can say much about losing and all those such, but be there, holding the space for the other one is the better thing, the greatest thing that you can do, because anything that you can say at that moment might not be good because they're not able to cultivate and make a new meaning yet, and it's gonna be sour and feel like pushing, right? Okay, so that's the time. Acknowledge it, expressing it. Like I cry, I talk to people about losing that. I talk to everyone that it means something to me, like yeah, if he here, he could do this. If he there, he could do that. Depend. But I talk more and more, expressing it that. I remember we teach something training, and then I have a break. So I went in the department store here to have my break, a couple of hours, and then when I stepped inside of the department store, I picked the phone and about to click the call to that, and I was burst into tears in the middle of the department store, and then the security guard have to come out and say that, are you okay, like I might hurt anything, but no, I just realized in that moment that I couldn't call him anymore. Right, the situation is shift and change. Expressing it, allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to angry, allow yourself to talk out, because it's important to acknowledge the feeling. The feeling is the messenger of what we need to understand what we think and what we feel, so we able to accept it, realize, and let it go. And one thing we have to realize is just everything is not permanent, including the feeling. The feeling of grief is there at that moment, and it's not there for a stay. It's not there to send a message, to send some meaning, and then it will go. So that we need to acknowledge that.
I have questions.
Yes.
When you say that allow yourself to grieve or to feel that feeling, my question is how long? For how long that we allow ourselves to be that feeling or suffering or anything?
Allow ourselves to feel that feeling but not suffer. Allow however long does it take. However long, like I thought that I could cry for a month, but it turned to be 6 months. Like cry, and from time to time I still burst into tears from time to time when I hear some listening song that Dad love, or when it just sometimes it's so scary. My father and my husband, sometimes they have the same act. He has the same tone of some voice. When he had that, I was like, God. Something like that, but it's gonna hit and aware that, and I promise you it's go down if you acknowledge it. Love acknowledging to level up and shift. Yes, Kun Kung, yeah, that exactly, because if we acknowledge it, we can shift it higher. We can shift that emotion to be a higher emotional. Because if we're not, I'm not sad. I'm not sad. And what happened? Boom. I'm not angry. I'm not angry that they fire me. I'm angry. Talk to someone that they're not treating me well. Or talk to somebody that do I need to consult the legal team to do something? Do I demand something to be able to heal this anger? Acknowledge that.
So, could you please say it very clearly to me? I'm a bit confused.
Sure.
When you allow yourself to feel the feeling, even though it's grief, sad, anger, or anything, just acknowledge it, but not let ourselves to dig down.
Okay. People, majority of humans, we believe that if we allow ourselves to angry, it's gonna stay long and then gone very long time and then rampage to the different level, which is not. The level that is go high in the anger is because of we suppressing it and we not allow. That is like boom. But if we anger, right? For example, my friend come late to the meeting, to the dinner together, and you wait for 2 hours, and then you just sit there and eat, not saying anything. That's suppressive anger. But if you acknowledge it and allow yourself to feel, like for example, we have a meeting and you came late. You come late hour, and I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. And you make me feel weird that everyone walk here and staring at me. What Ki could say, I'm sorry and this and that. Okay, you could text me so I don't have to be here. And it's done, man. Done. But if you sit there the whole meal, what is happening? Those suffering will increasing again and again and again. Yeah. So that's why I encourage people to just talk when you're able to talk. If you don't talk, you will screaming. You will screaming that thing, the thing that you don't talk, higher volume and higher degree again and again, which is that is not gonna be cool. Yeah. All right. Cool. Like I cry. Remember, I cry. The first month I cried 3 times a day, especially first 7 days of my father passed, because we do Thai ceremony about 7 days. I cry in the morning. I sat and cried during driving to the temple, and then have to brush up because I have to act strong now in front of everyone, and then come back. Or maybe 4 times, crying on the way back and then crying in the meditation on before sleeping. So that is happen and happen and happen. We never know how much we stuff inside ourselves. And it's necessary to allow the body and the mind to work through, to let this go. However long the process of letting go it's necessary.
For yourself.
Yeah, for yourself. Because for me, I have lots of suppressing emotional with my father, a lot, like anger, love, that unspoken word with him, tons of it, right? An unspoken word of how much I love him, how much he hurt me and things like that. So that's why it's ongoing again and again and again, and we never know, right? So that is it. So now until we acknowledge, realize, and then we make a decision, choose to end this, right? How to cope with the suffering, acknowledge that feeling, expressing it, and realize that it does not need to be permanent. And then choose to end this, choose to end the suffering. But you need to make a decision to end it, because no one can end it for you. It's an inside work, inside job. Your father, your mother, your sister, your husband, your wife cannot end this for you. And also you cannot suffer for others as well. Like my wife, father passed and she's so crying, and I don't know how to do. I want to suffer from him. You cannot replace the place, right? You just have to support what you can. So feel the feeling of the brain with the new meaning, right? I feel the feeling of losing my father before. So when it's happened again, I feel the feeling of what he trying to teach me all of his life. And what can I make this meaning for him in a greater way? How can I be a better person by have him as my hero forever? Right? Or if you lose some work, how can I get the lesson from this work? By not to have a bad boss. Or how can I get over a bad relationship? So now I know what kind of a person that I shouldn't choose to be my life partner. What do I need to value in order to be important in my relationship? Make it as a greatest learning. Help it to be like you graduate some sort of a greatest school. Don't make it wasted. Make it meaningful to you, not to them, if they're not worth it. Right? And what are the new opportunities that you can grow from this. If the relationship is saying, oh, thank you, I'm still young and beautiful, I can find the better and awesome husband or wife. Why do I waste such a time for a loser? Something like that. Or God, they just lose what valuable asset of that company. They couldn't do far. But anyway, I let them go. I will go to the company and the people that value me. Right? And the next one is just, how can I make it better next time? By choosing to value yourself. What kind of standard in your life? This morning in Pink Lotus, we just say that women doesn't have an attitude. We have a standard. But it's not just for the woman, isn't it? It's for everyone. We don't have the attitude. We have standard. Man or woman should have the standard to choose the life partner that love and respect you, cherish you, honor you, no matter how matter with the body and the mind, everything. They're always gonna uplifting you, always. That is the standard that you have to put it for whomever that is gonna deserve you, right? And what else? What is the what can we do better? Next time with the new relationship, I will choose the man that is the man, able to say yes and no, able to own that fault, able to value me and show me off. Anything lower than that,
No.
It's not mine. It's under my pay grade. They cannot afford me. Something like that. With the attitude of I'm better, I'm great, I'm beautiful. Why not? So make that we can create the new life in a matter of seconds always. The life chapter in the past doesn't define the success in the future. The success in the past doesn't define the success in the future as well. So you have to renew and recreate yourself all the time. And the most important, precious, is your state of mind. So you need to check and cultivate all the time. If he or she is here with us now, this is the meaning. What do they want for us? For some people that losing the loved one, like I used to lose one of my cat, and I cry like hell as well. And then one time I was dream about him, and then next morning I said what he trying to tell me. He trying to say that I don't want to see you cry like this, mother. And I cannot go anywhere. Giving see you crying is hanging me here, right? So that's what it is. How you make the new meaning, asking that, what is the loved one want you to be? Do they want you to be in this state of suffering? The one that care will care for you to help and supporting you. The one that not matter, they not care, right? Okay, so do we have time? I have a little bit of thing. Oh, we still have time,
Yes,
right?
we still have time.
Okay, so this is I was watching in the morning of Shaolin Master, and almost do the what you call kung fu in the morning. No, but it's very good, and I like to share. I wouldn't catch his name though, but he's very calm and kind. He said that and overcome suffering is an inside job, internal job that we can do by changing the meaning. But sometimes if we so attached with it, we unable to do it alone. Ask for help, ask for the loved one, call us in Coachology, call us in Pinklotus-Foundation. We are here for helping and supporting each other. Who knows, one day I could say that I want this and I want that, could you help me? And no detach, right? Like if you can, you can. If you can, it's fine, right? We are seeing for a better reason, a greater reason. So with this Shaolin school, they teach about clarity. In able to overcome the suffering, we need to have a clarity in mind. The clarity is we see things as the way it is, not mind making bullshit. Excuse my language, right? So he said that there are 5 hindrances that stop our mind to see things clearly or have a clarity. The first hindrance is, all of these 5 hindrances is like, let's say that the mind is like a dark, the sky, but the hindrance is a dark cloud that is cover our sky, right? So the first cloud that is so cloudy is sensual desire, right? It could work both ways. Sensually desire, that 5 senses of ourselves, the thing that we see, smell, hear, touch, and feel, right? Those things can be both positive and negative. It called obsession. Some people obsess the bad relationship for certain look of certain feel, that it wasn't real. It's only the perception, and those can shift and change as well. That is come from the meaning that we put toward our sensually desire, right? And from the losing someone that you love, those sensory that the past of loved one, they become they pass, then the body is not moving. It's just like it's huge, because we know only the form of the body. But what if this form is just not permanent, temporarily? What could be the different form that we could in touch, right? So that is a new, we need to keep feeding the new question. The first hindrance is by our own sensing desire from our senses and cause our obsession. Obsessed that he disappear, she disappear, right? Obsessed because of she's so beautiful, I wanna have her, or he's so good, I wanna have him, something like that. That's an obsession over sensory. That is a very, very shallow thing for the mind, and if you practice the mind enough, it will overcome. And then second one of the hindrance is ill will, right? Ill will is arise from negative emotion. What is it that ill will, right? It's from the people that have against us in the organization. Some subject that they move my table, they give me lower computer that I should have. That is the ill will, the meaning that we think that people painted on us, right? Or the rejection or dislike of somebody, and that is affecting us so much because of we take it seriously. All those dislike, rejection, and something that not so nice to us, it's from them. It's their meaning. It's their world. It's never our world. If we're not able to put the different meaning and perspective on this, we will not be able to overcome that. Like somebody, some group of the friend might not like you anymore, or might not like me anymore, but that's their story, not our story. If we're able to detach that, it's fine. Or even sometimes our loved one have a different meaning of life, which is related to not approving our life, and that is also their life, not our life. So that's ill will, right? So the third one is downness. It's like downness, sleepiness, lack of energy, non-motivation, and those kind of demotivate, lack of energy, sleepiness, it lead to the depression. This part is a depression of causing from the hindrance in the above, like you get trapped by the sensual desire and other people ill will, and then you imprisonment yourself. That very hard to get over it because you lock yourself in the rabbit hole. So that's again, you need to be strong and find a new meaning. But if it's come to this state, it's already very heavy. You need supporting from people, from other people, from the loved one, from the one that you care. Like you could talk to psychologists, you could talk to other coaches, you could talk to the loved one that's supporting you, right? So that's the 3 hindrances. The 4th one is restlessness, the inability to rest, unsettled down mind at the present moment. What is it like? You cannot settle down at the present moment. The mind is traveling in the back and traveling in the future and go back and forth, never be in the present. Like I lost my father and he's like this, so we're not gonna have this chance again, and I lose the good part in the past time, or why can he left me? We building the home together, we having this and that, we are about to do this and that together, we have such a beautiful amazing wedding together, why is this happen, why this happen? So it's traveling in the past and in the future again, back and forth, right? So that unsettled mind is very, very difficult. When we in this state of restlessness, we so judgmental of every event. We couldn't make up our mind. We in the rejection mode. We reject everything, and we cannot accepting the present situation. We cannot accept that at this moment in time it's done, it's gone for that relationship. What is next, right? So that is the 4th hindrance, by sensory desire, ill will, downness, restlessness, which is unsettled mind now. The 5th one is skeptical mind. What is it, that skeptical mind? You in the state of unable to make a decision, in the indecisiveness, unable to, is it right, is it worth, should I do this or should I do that, what if it's this, what if it's that? You in the stuck zone. It's in the doubtful that, can I do this, should I go that, and should I go this? That wasn't a good idea. So the way to gain clarity in life and to put the good meaning, you need to manage these 5 hindrances. Sensory one, the ill wills that we make a meaning, the downness of sleepy, the restlessness that you monkey mind jump all over the places, and in the doubtful, skeptical mind, even your own ability. So you need to find the different meaning, ask the quality question, and then put the empowering decision, empowering meaning of that situation, that event, so you be able to gain more clarity. And the state of mind of feel suffering will be less and gone. So there are another one that from the Shaolin master say that in order to do all of this, which is quite the same with us, is like align our own thought, feeling and body to be able to go on in life by, which is acknowledge, right? We say that acknowledge. He say recognize the state of mind. What is that for, right? From what hindrance, right? For example, losing somebody because of in the relationship, and then you feel totally want to make love with him again, or make love with her again, or falling in the beauty of her or him. That is what? Sensual desire, suffering from this sensual desire. Or you suffering from this rejection, the guy is doesn't want you anymore. That's the ill will from the guys, right? Or you have lack of energy and no motivation of having to stand up because of the guy left you. And that is a downness. You imprison that I'm gonna trap into this loss of this relationship forever. So see that, recognize that, and then, oh, in the past I have this and that and those with him or her. In the future we're planning this and that, and now it's not. I bet that if you lose the relationship, it's come 5 different hindrance at the same time. But you need to seek out or talk to somebody that help you to unpack all of this, and the doubt that, am I able to find a good man ever again? Or realizing that, is that a good man or a bad man? Or Batman? With that. So that is recognize the state of hindrance that we have, and then accept it that it's already gone, acknowledge it, and move on with what we want. Right? Investigate emotion and ask the question that, why is this coming up? Right? Why is this coming up? And what will be the consequence if I remain in this, doubting my ability to get over this? Right? Why is the consequence going to happen? What are the consequences going to happen with me from this? Right? And then the last part is non-identify. Right? Practice it. I am not the body. This is from the Buddhism, okay? So it's just gonna be, and I'm not a body, I'm not mind, I'm not emotion. I can see all of this aspect. Why they ask this? It's just for us to be able to detach our own life and look into the helicopter viewpoint and see that I'm not this doubting, I'm not this person, this body, I can be anyone. I'm not this thinking. I can think greater than myself, and I can become better person. I can have and I deserve to have a great relationship. That is how we get over of that. Do not buy into the old story, create the new identity, and buy into the different story that you deserve for. Right. So I think today is our suffering, and I like to end this with, remember to put the meaning and to put your own worth, your standard, your value, the better for your life, for what you deserve, because we all deserve the best, and we worthy to receive the best of the best. And learn to master your emotion, your mind all the time. And that was like, I want to share, and you guys and me and everyone in the world deserve the best. We deserve everything that the mind can conceive, so conceive the best thing for you. We love you, and thank you for being with us. Thank you.
And see us again
next month.
Next month.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Say hi from time to time. Love you.